You're currently muted if it's county DPS. Alright, we'll just run bannerless. Are you new to this fight? Okay. Sounds good. Can I have all my pylon kiters type X in chat?
You're definitely bigger and uglier than you were at the Mystic Forge, but you still won't win.
Champions over toys and lesser gin. You're not playing Zomros' foolish games today.
You underestimated us last time, Kadim. Didn't work out so well.
I am something.
Let me just run circles around him, dropping raid markers real quick. Alright. So, you're welcome to enter this circle. Just do not cross that line that the lightning shark is running around, where all my markers are on. Else that will start the fight. But you're welcome to enter the area. And then I'll let you zoom out even further, because this is a big boss fight arena. Alright, for my tank, have you tanked this before?
I have not.
Oh,
I've done the
right.
fight, but I have not tanked.
Okay. Who here has pylon kited before?
I have.
Can I have you type Y in chat? Has either of you done North Pylon before?
I've done North Pylon. I've never done anything special as part of it, so if there's
Okay.
something special I could do
Nope.
there, more than happy to learn.
It's just the more difficult pylon, especially if the tank's newer. So I would
yeah,
prefer
I
a
can handle
new
it.
kiter. Okay.
North one is the one at the far back, right?
Yes.
Yes, I've done that too.
Okay. Alright. So, can I have my tank gather on the North Pylon, along with the other, the North Pylon kiter? Everyone else, we're gonna just try to evenly distribute yourself between two pylons. I need each pylon kiter to be on one of the pylons.
Do you want me to slot in some more healing power gear to give some extra barrier to our tank?
We should be fine.
Okay.
We'll make adjustments if we need, but for now we're just going to rock this. What are we missing? Alright, I need you guys to gather around pylons, evenly distributed. There should be 2 on the north, and there should be 4 on the east and west pylon. I just want everyone to, and you will have to remember which one you're starting on, because you're going to be going to this one semi-frequently. Alright, so I will be on east pylon, that's fine. So what this fight is going to look at is the fight starts when you enter this circular ring that you see before us. Once that does so, we will need to retake control of the pylons. If we fail to do so before a circle reaches Kadim, then we all straight up die. So how you regain control of the pylons is you'll have to CC it, and then my pylon kiters, you will have to activate your special action key. You can do it now, or you can wait till the last moment to save yourself a little bit of damage. That is up to you, but it's not the biggest of deal. For my tank, I also need you to activate a special action key because that lets you be the tank. Word of note to people who have never pressed this before, every time we wipe, you will have to repress that special action key. Alright, so once we retake all the pylons, Kadim is going to shoot out a shockwave that you will need to dodge or else you'll get flung backwards. It'll take a little bit of time to get used to this, but the later in the fights that this is, and if you get hit by it, the more dangerous it is, because there will be fire everywhere on this field, and getting knocked back into fire will pretty much be an instant death. Alright. Any questions so far? All right. So what I'm going to start off talking about is my tank. So for tanking this, um, you are going to be swapping between two positions. Um, the reason you swap between two positions, one, you want to be face so that way. Do you see this little cone on the ground from here all the way to the north pylon, just with lines in the ground?
Yeah, like the part of the circle.
Yeah, the where
Okay.
if you look at the mini map, the center area is divided into sixths. You are
Hmm.
going to want to be on the north side in between those sixths. The reason for that is Kadim's primary way of dealing damage is he shoots out a cone, and now anyone caught in this cone is going to get a series of three projectiles launched at them. It's super easy to block if you're on Chrono. Firebrand, you can't block all of them, but you can just heal through it. Um, you want to be in between there so that you're not just constantly griefing your north pylon. Um, because remember, they can get hit by this cone.
It hurts.
Yeah. This is why I always recommend newer kiters north be on the opposite side of that line down the center that your tank is. Just for people that ever have to tank or kite north that have never. Now, the last thing that you have to worry about for your positioning um, is roughly every 45-ish seconds, Kadim is going to throw down a road. And this road looks similar to the Revenant road, except it's made of electric death. When he drops down the road, he's actually animation locked for quite a bit, so you are going to run to the other tanking position, which is just going to be over on this side. And you'll just... Oh, I started the fight. I deeply apologize. So,
Jesus Christ.
um, you're pretty much going to stand here, but close to Kadim, and then you'll swap over to right here. Well, GG.
Brace yourselves.
Um, there's only really two bad areas to drop roads. If you're standing in those positions, it's not going, or you shouldn't have to worry about it too much. But it is extremely bad if you drop it where those circles are on each side of the north pylon in the ground. Because an orb will fall right here that your pylon has to catch. And if there's like fiery death standing there, uh, then it's pretty much a wipe. So just stand in the center of the cone, or the not quadrant, whatever the word for sixths. Anyway, hexant.
Probably.
All right.
Sounds about right.
Accent sounds right.
So, any questions on that?
I don't think so, but is there any like recommended like utility swaps or anything for this fight? Like,
You will want stand your ground. And
okay,
I'll get to stand your ground later. My last bit of advice is once he drops roads, you're actually going to take the long way around Kadim. That way you can throw boons on your group and refresh some of your own boons. He's animation locked during this whole time, so you don't need to worry about hitting them with the cone, as long as you're not stopping. One last word of note about these roads is they are kind of bugged in that sometimes they're invisible. Um, so as
Oh,
long as
that's
you
fun.
don't have super speed, um, that's the other reason we go the long way around, is that's pretty much the timing that the road leaves. But in case you're a little bit fast, you may just take a lot of damage and then being like, oh, there's a road there. Um, as soon as you get hit by it, the road appears. So, but just know that the roads do go invisible.
okay.
Alright. Now, for my kiters, you're pretty much going to be... which one is my new kiter? Is it east or west? East? Okay. So, all you're going to be standing... you're just going to be What are you kiting on, Deadeye? All you do is you just kneel, and you just pretty much do your Deadeye rotation. The only thing that's different, or the only thing that's new, is occasionally there is going to be a falling orb that needs to be catched, and you are always going to catch the one, if you're looking in on Kadim, to your left. That it falls. So east is always going to catch this. You teleport in, grab it, and then teleport it out. The reason it has to be a teleport is leaving your pylon. There's going to be a green circle that closes, and if you're not back to it in time, then we just have to re-CC it, and Kadim is immune while we don't control all the pylons. It's not the biggest deal. The real scary thing is you cannot let this hit the ground, your orb. You have to teleport in pretty much right before it lands, and then you'll teleport out. If this hits the ground, it's going to do a lot of damage and probably down some pylon kiters. If you ever do miss yours, the orb will land and slowly go towards Kadim. Somebody needs to grab it and run it back towards that pylon. Because if it does reach Kadim, it is going to wipe us. It's typically mine. You're also new to kiting? Okay, so then yours is going to be near Spiral. And that is pretty much all that there is to kiting. These pylons are going to siphon away your life, so you do have a little bit of life still built into your kit to keep you alive. But they, in return, give you boons, which is pretty fun. And that's about all there is to kiting. Any questions on what I have talked about so far? Alright. One last thing for my kiters. As you notice, there is this little electric shark running around. And this even goes for everyone else. Make sure you are not touching a white line, because if you get hit by that, it's going to chunk you quite a bit and it hurts. And you do not want to get hit by an electric shark. That's about all there is to that mechanic. Everybody else, we are just going to be grouping up behind Kadim and wailing on him till 80%. At 80%, he is going to get fed up with this, and we are all going to get turned into fireballs. Now, this is where you need to remember what pylon you started at. For the fireball mechanic, you turn into a ball of fire, and then after a set amount of time, you plummet back into the ground and drop a deadly AoE on the ground. This is very useful in dealing with a future mechanic, so we are dropping them in very particular spots. If you can't remember where to go, that's fine. Just know that you there's 3 spots that are always going to be a wipe. One is right where that ball lands for the pylon kiters. If you drop it here, that's going to be a wipe. Dropping it directly on the pylon itself is going to be a wipe, because then your kiter doesn't have any place to stand. And dropping it on Kadim himself is going to be a wipe. So if you cannot remember that it is supposed to be left then right for our fire phase, just take it as far out of the arena as you can. So for example, east, at 80%, we are going to the square one. West, you are going to spiral. And north is going to circle first. Alright. Once we turn into fireballs, we will have to retake the pylons back. So it is your job to CC it just like we did at the start of the fight. And this is as far as I'm going to explain the fight so far. Does anyone have any questions? There is a lot going on in this fight, so there is no shame in asking questions. Alright. Let's start this fight.
Fury rising.
Remember, kiters and tank activate their special action key. Get ready to dodge and dodge. Let tank be the first one to go in.
That feels better.
Make sure we're picking our kiters up. Alright, you did not move off that road quick enough.
No, I did not.
Guys, we need to res our tank right now. Do not touch that road or you yourself will go down. Alright, let's go ahead and GG. So, roads look alright. In terms of positioning. You can help your north kiter a little bit by standing a little bit closer to the outside. Really, you kind of want to stand as far to the east and west as you can without dropping a road on this center area.
All right. Yeah, I can try to do that.
All right. We'll go ahead and give it another poll. Did anyone have any questions? Can we start mounted for CC? You can. You pretty much have to do it like a coordinated if you're actually going to use it.
That's refreshing.
And dodge. So, for my tank, now you leave and you just run around. You'll want to run a little bit faster because you just downed your other pylon. Alright, let's go ahead and GGE. Pretty much as soon as you see that road animation, you start moving. You don't need to wait for it to actually get dropped.
Okay.
But we are looking good.
Hang on.
Did you get too close to the pylon mounted?
Well, I opted into that one, actually. Alright, we're good.
Alright. Get ready, dodge. I'm seeing fewer people get hit by that.
Protected.
You will know my wrath.
Another word of advice for my tank is you'll want to be self-cleansing pretty frequently because those things give you vulnerability. Alright, we have our first orb.
Shoot. I didn't know it goes that fast. Whoops.
Nope, no worries. Make sure we pick our tank.
I need reinforcements.
Get our north pylon up. Alright, let's go ahead and reset this.
Is the orb random?
So
placement?
it's always going to go in a clockwise fashion. Additionally, it will ever go wherever it was due based on the previous attempt. So I believe west, it's either west or north is going to be for first orb. But good tanking position. So then you just run around, just like that. So there it is. Good job. East, you are next with ball. Alright. I will get to that mechanic later. But if you have lightning, just bring it out of group. Alright, so head to your markers.
Wait, why am I not moving?
Oh shit.
You have the WASD. Did you DC?
Oh, yeah, I think I DC for a bit.
Alright, let's go ahead and GG.
All spawn to Libya. Moose, I think you had the fire directions the wrong way around.
What?
So orbs spawn to the left of the pylon, right?
Yeah.
Should our first fire phases should be the right of the pylon, shouldn't
Is
they?
it?
My
This is-
understanding it's random, whether it's the first one's to the left or the right. Kind of.
I think the fire drops are based upon the direction the anomaly thingies go, rather than where the orbs are. Because the idea is to CC them while they're in the fire, and then they kind of die.
Yeah, that's it.
One second, I'm double checking. So, short answer is it depends. uh, there's like 3 ways to do fires in this fight. I'm just doing pug fires, which is left and right. But then there's things like better fires, which is north and east are left and right. West is both at the same time, and then you use your 2 elsewhere. We are not going to be doing that. Just because most of the time when you are pugging this fights, you're just going to use pug fires. Because better fires is really nice for the last little bit, but it's really prone to wipes if you're not a coordinated group. Alright. So, for the mechanic I didn't touch to, which is lightning, Kadim's mechanics will actually affect anyone in this fight, regardless of your tank, regardless of your pylon kiter. They are all chosen at random. So his first mechanic is going to be lightning. Somebody at random is going to get chosen and drop 3 expanding AoE fields. So the first one is going to be small, then medium, and then super large. If you are not a kiter or the tank, you are just going to bring this off stack. Kiters, you're just going to have to move around with it. You can completely dodge all of them. For everyone on stack, you just bring it back here. Remember not to cross or to walk over these lines, as they hit you like a truck if you get hit by jump shark or lightning shark. Alright. 80% we did fires. Did anyone have any questions on that? As Pete says, if you're kneeled from being a Deadeye, you either have to unkneel or just dodge them. Alright. At 60%, fires are going to happen again. That's pretty much the only difference in this phase. What's new that's added is an anomaly will spawn. And that's for the druid to deal with. Occasionally, if we get bad RNG, due to us doing pug fires, I may call out for us to run and CC and kill an anomaly if it's not walking into fires. But that is only for my stat group. Kiters, you are still doing your job of catching orbs and DPSing. Alright. We'll go ahead and do another poll.
You're protected. That's refreshing.
And dodge.
Refreshing. I feel energized. You will obey. I call upon your power.
East, this is, sorry, west. Directions are hard. East, now it's you. North, you are next. Occasionally, I may call for us to CC Kadim. That won't be this phase. Alright, head to your markers.
Has been leading me to this victory over my inferiors.
Alright, out of the fires, and then go and CC your pylon.
You had great potential once, Kadim, despite your flaws.
Pick our friend up.
Not even Jake. You are
Get ready to dodge. Make sure your back is never to a fire while you are getting ready to dodge.
Now reap the seeds you've sown. I warned you.
Alright, we have a dead person. That is unfortunate, but we are going to continue. West, this is you.
I need help.
I need people to CC and kill the anomaly behind us.
Seriously.
Come here.
Lightning our group.
Getting swarmed.
Alright, we can now return.
I am that.
I'm getting Dragon Bash achievements. That's quite fun. Alright, we are 4% till phase.
Come here. Rise and
1%, get ready, head to your markers.
look at this. So pretty.
Did somebody head to the wrong marker, but I think that we are still fine. We need more CC here.
Not very much.
Glorious combination of skill.
Oh, daisies.
Oh,
Yeah.
we didn't CC.
And North Pylon, which
My golem was on cooldown, unfortunately. I used him on the Kadim break bar.
yeah, I don't have a lot of CC on my tank.
Alright.
That's pretty good.
Was a really good attempt. So, after the first fires, Kadim adds a new mechanic, which is Break Bar. What he does is he overloads a pylon, so while you are tethered to it, you take massive damage. It is the group's job to CC it, because the pylons, especially north, like you need your golem to CC it during the after fires phase. Other than that, we did pretty good, or we did pretty fine. Did anyone have any questions? No worries. I did notice that we only had 2 people here over on East. One person might have been dead, but we should have had another year-end to start. Okay, no worries. Alright, so at 40%, this boss fight is going to ramp up quite a bit more. At which point he is going to, at 40%, North needs to leave the pylon, because Kadim is going to rush it, and then throw down a fire field around it, and consume that pylon. At this point, we are all going to gather right in front of that fire field, and this is where we will stack stability. So Thorn, can I have you bring SYG? Same with my heal brand. The reason we bring this is just because he does that same knockback that he does at the start of the fights. However, it's because the whole area is engrossed in fire, it's much more difficult to see the tell for this, so we just use stability to not get knocked back into this. After that, you will not want to be near a pylon or near Kadim. So once he rushes forward to consume a pylon, kiters come and rejoin us for this knockback. At which point, after the knockback, get away from Kadim because he will throw out a push field that will knock you back into fires, and it's not very fun. After this, we re-CC all the pylons and retank them. Then it's just the fight as normal, except our pylon kite now rejoins us or goes to another pylon. Depends on their view on what's better DPS for them. At 20%, he is going to eat west pylon, and at 10%, he eats east pylon. Any questions on eating the pylon phases? It's the exact same for each pylon, it's just in a different location. Also, hi chat. I haven't really been talking too much to you. I've been focusing on the training. How have you guys been? Alright. For the last 10%, this fight is going to get massively chaotic. The reason for this is now there is no special action key, as well as... Actually, we won't even touch there yet. We're just going to go ahead and do a raid check. Alright, here we go.
Protected. That's refreshing.
Good job catching that orb.
Beautiful blend of talents.
Lightning bringing out a group. Alright, we're 2% till phase.
Step aside. Every moment has been leading me to this victory over my inferiors.
Out of the fire and CC your pylon.
You had great potential once, Kadim, despite your flaws. Now you are not even Jin. You are an outsider.
Make sure we pick our friend up. Where are they? Oh, they're in the fire.
Did you think I was joking?
We have orbs coming. Good job. Make sure we res north pylon, and there goes our tank. CC, 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 Kadim. Oh, let's go ahead and GG. Lots of bad things started happening there at once. One, I was late to call on CC. Two, I totally spaced on my anomaly job.
Is there anything else that increases the damage you're taking from your pylon besides the CC bar?
Nope. Somebody failing an orb mechanic, you'll massively take a lot of damage. If you're standing on a white line, getting hit by that electric shark, as a druid, it does like a third of my health. So if you're standing there for a long period, you're just going to get mowed down.
Alright, maybe that's what it was. Usually my parasitic contagion is more than enough to keep me healthy, but for some reason on that one, I was just going down.
Occasionally, if it's just bad timing, you can teleport to your orb as Kadim throws out his cone, and then when you come back, you get hit by triple Kadim attacks, which throws vulnerability on yourself.
That might have done it. That could do it.
Which pylon were you on?
I'm north.
Okay. Is there a tell for who has lightning? The edge of your screen will be crackling yellow, kind of like what it is in Cairn. You'll also hear the dedutes and Alright, here we go.
Fast as the wind.
I wield great wisdom.
I keep forgetting to change my spirits.
Sand, shield us. Rise and serve. Pain. Oh, it hurts.
Orbs. Lightning and grip, bring it out. Good job. We're 4% till phase. 2, 1. Good job.
Every moment has been leading me to this victory. Over my inferiors, over the key, over Arashim.
You had great potential once, Kadim, despite your flaws.
Come here.
Now you are not even Jin.
Get ready to dodge and dodge.
Because you passed me over. You preferred lesser Jin. Now reap the seeds you've sown.
Did that hurt?
First Anon is spawning.
Rise and serve. You will know my wrath.
CC Kadim.
Attack.
Knowledge
Good
is
on the
power.
CC. 1% till phase.
Are you so ruled by the past that you destroy the future?
Yes,
The key's right.
Go
All the
CC
power
your
you've
pylon.
taken has corrupted you.
I emerged from the forge with greater vision. The future will be what I deem it to be.
Get ready and dodge.
I chose you.
Lock and load.
Cycles increasing.
Since you hung up on
Alright, this is Jump Shark. You'll want to jump when his hands come down. Also get away from group in case you mess it up.
You will know my wrath.
No.
Res them. Good job.
The compact is
Alright, we are going to phase here in 4%. CC Kadim. CC Kadim. Good job. Away from the north pylon. Alright, everyone group up on me. Group up on me. Group up on me. Stand your ground.
knowledge
Good job. Out of the center. Out of the center. Out of the center. Go re-CC your pylons. Wait for them to retake first.
I chose you.
I'm the only one at my pylon.
Lightning. Oh, there's even a tank near us. Alright, it's in good habits to wait and let the tank be the first person to come in, because that will be important later. Pick up our pylon, pick up our pylon, pick up our pylon. Lightning out of group. Alright, group up on me, group up on me, group up on me.
Come here.
I forgot to call SYG. That's fine. Out of the center, out of the center. Away from that pylon. CC that pylon. Alright, here's where things are going to get really chaotic in a bit.
Normally hitting towards us.
So, there will be times where I will call for us to CC and kill an anomaly, like right now, CC and kill this thing. This is because we did lazy fires. Jump Shark, get out of group. Now back to DPS and Kadim. Resume as normal.
compact is
Alright, group up on me. Stand your ground. Out of the center, out of the center. Let everyone out of the center. Tank be the first one to run in. CC and kill this anomaly. Alright. Now there'll be some mechanics I didn't explain. We're just going to ignore them. Don't worry about the lightning bolts. It's the exact same fight as before, but it's just chaotic.
Hurts, doesn't it?
Jump Shark out of group, out of group. CC and kill the anomaly. CC and kill the anomaly. I got the res. Kill the anomaly. Back to DPSing.
Tank's down.
Pick our tank up.
I can fight again.
Good job. We have a little bit of time before the next anomaly is a must kill. Just remember lightning out of group. Alright, CC and kill the anomaly. Everyone on the anomaly. Watch out, this road is probably invisible right now. Okay, now it's gone.
Oh, tank is down.
I got them, don't worry about it. Back to DPS and Kadim. Back to DPS and Kadim. Back to... Away from them, they're dead. DPS, DPS, DPS.
Anomaly behind us.
CC and kill the anomaly.
I've beaten you, but you don't know it yet.
Your word you can ultimately be now.
Lightning out of group. 2%. You guys got this. Lightning, jump shark out of group. Good
No.
job. All right. How many new people do we have? Because that was a very clean QTP. 2 new people? All right.
Well, that was my first time ever trying the fight, so.
It wasn't my first time in the fight, but it's my first time surviving to the end.
Hey.
An evolution
A lot of people on new roles as well,
never again will
including
True.
me.
Jin control the destiny
Don't forget
of
to
all.
hop in the pull up here if you haven't done it before.
I'll probably still continue explaining some elements of the fight, because we kind of rushed through the end of it.
So I did have a question.
Yeah.
When the tank gets lightning, do I do anything, or just like assume everybody else will get away from me, or be far enough away from me? It only happened in that
It
last section.
depends.
Share the burden and the
So,
pain as your champions do.
up until that last section where there's no pylons, you do still kind of get a little bit further away, because you have the special action key that makes you be the tank. However, once all the pylons have been consumed, whoever is the first person to enter becomes the tank. So if you leave, then re-enter, someone else is going to be the tank. So you still have to be in that center circle area. Otherwise, you just kind of get as far as you can without leaving the center area. That way you can still be the tank.
So pretty.
All right. Yeah, that should work.
All right. So for that last phase, one mechanic that nobody really deals with, but just so you know, there's technically still kiters. So the first person to walk into the center area is the tank. The next 2 people get a mechanic where if you are near the main party, you are causing them damage. However, I would be surprised if 75% of players who do this fight actually know this is a mechanic and actively try to bait it. So
Is that
that's
what
what
the tethers are?
yeah, that's what those purple tethers are.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So like in a perfect world, the tank is standing right here kiting. And then you have tether 1 right here and tether 2 right here. And then everybody else is standing right here and DPSing the boss. However, pretty much no group ever does that unless you're like into speed clearing and running only 1 healer because of that. Most groups just heal through it, in case that's what you're wondering what it was. Alright. Lastly is why the fires we did is really nice at the beginning, because it's hard to get that mixed up, but as you could see, we had to deal with anomalies several times. Just so you guys are aware, there are better fires, which by the end of it, there's a fire dropped here. There's a fire dropped here. And then there's a fire dropped here. That way, the druid can just CC the anomalies and you guys don't have to worry about them. However, not many groups run better fires, but just be aware that that is a thing.
So when you're targeted by the large arrow, what's that? 'Cause that's what got me at the end. That's what killed me.
That's a jump shark. So
Okay.
a random person is going to get selected by jump shark. And then you'll kind of want to take a step back. That way you have time to react to it. And he's going to shoot out 3 electric sharks that you'll need to jump over. You can't really block them. I believe they're unblockable. And if you're hit by them, they'll do a big explosion. So because of that reason, anyone who has the big arrow needs to get it off of group. And then you just jump when his arms come down. Alright, did anyone else have any QTP questions? I can upload the logs. Actually, I haven't updated my logs in forever. I can try and run Log Manager, but it's probably going to yell at me. Alright, if nobody has any questions, thank you for coming.
Thanks for running us.
Yeah.